Good morning, friends. In the last period, we were discussing about the methods of research, and that was the part number one. Okay, in that part, we have studied the exact meaning of method and methodology, research method and research methodology, and also we have studied the research methods and three types of the methods we have considered there in the last period. For example, case study method, survey method and other methods. But in the last period only we have discussed about the case study method. Okay, in that case study method also we have discussed about the definitions given by the different thinkers, different authors. Also we have considered in the last period that is the about the case study method strategies for the completion of case study method. It means that different types of these stages also we have studied. Different types of the stages for completion of the case study method. Those stages also we have studied in detail in the last period. Okay. Then another thing also we have considered, for example, advantages of case study method. Different types of the benefits you can get from the case study method, and also you will face some limitations. Those limitations also we have considered in the last period. Now the same research methods we have to continue in this methods of research part 2. Okay, in this part we have to study, we have to discuss in detail about the remaining methods. First method is there, survey method of the today's period. This survey research method, you have listened the word survey. Survey means you have to visit to the particular field and you have to observe particular task. Okay, and after observing such type of a task, you can collect or you can record the data for your research purpose. Okay, for that purpose also such type of a surveys are also conducted. Okay, this survey research method is a technique of investigation. Try to understand what is it. A survey research method is a technique of investigation by a direct observation of phenomena or by systematic gathering of the data from the population. It means that in that survey method definitely you will find there is a direct observation of phenomena is there, and also you can collect, you can gather that required data for your research purpose in systematic manner from population directly. Don't forget it at all. Everything is direct you will find here. Okay, observations also you can make directly, and data also you can collect directly. You can gather the information systematically and directly from the population. It involves a systematic and comprehensive study. Try to understand. A survey involves a systematic and comprehensive study of particular group, particular community, particular organizations, etc., with a view to analyze a social problem and presentation of recommendations for its solution. For example, survey of rural poverty in Konkan region of Maharashtra state, the political corruption in UP states, the economic survey of India, and so on. These are only few examples I have given here for your understanding purpose. It means that on which problem you can conduct the survey, on which problems you can collect the information. Okay, for that purpose only few examples I have given here. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my explanation? Try to understand. Very simple explanation is here, and I am also going to use very simple language. Okay, try to understand each and every statement, and try to understand why I am using such type of a statement. Okay, it means that survey method is very essential, and that is commonly used by the government also. Okay, then different types of the definitions are also given by the some thinkers, and those definitions also I would like to quote here, I would like to explain here, I would like to discuss with you, because without considering these definitions survey method will never completed. Okay, That's why I am going to discuss such type of definitions also, and with the help of those definitions you can understand the exact concept of survey and survey method. uh, First definition is given here, Webster's College Dictionary, and from that Webster's College Dictionary you will get this definition about the survey method. What that definition is saying that a critical inspection, try to understand what type of inspection. A critical inspection, often official, to provide exact information, often a study of an area with respect to a certain conditions or its prevalence. That is a survey of schools. It means that such type of inspection, that inspection is officially inspection that provides exact information for your study purpose, and that is called survey. Okay, and simple example is quoted here about survey of school. Okay, this definition is given by Webster's College Dictionary. Okay, another definition I have mentioned here by Mark Abraham. What Mark Abraham is going to say, a social survey. A social survey is a process. Try to understand. What is it? A social survey is a process by which quantitative facts are collected. What type of facts are collected? Quantitative facts are collected about social aspects of a community's composition. Social aspects of a community's composition and activities. And that is called survey. Then another definition is also given by F.L. Whitney. As per this thinker, survey research, what is it? Survey research is an organized attempt. What type of attempt is there? Organized attempt to analyze, interpret, and report present status of social group or area. This is called survey method. This is called survey. Okay. Then another definition is also given here for your understanding purpose by Herman. The survey method is, or survey is a method of analysis in scientific and orderly form. That is analysis, but in which form? Scientific and orderly form for defined purpose of social situation of problem or population. This definition is also given by the Herman. Okay. Now, social survey is concerned with different things. According to Mrs. P.V. Young, what she is going to say? She is going to say here, social surveys are concerned with the formulation of constructive programs of social reform. What is it? The formulation of constructive programs of social reform and amelioration of a current or immediate conditions of social pathological nature, which have definite geographical limits and definite social implications and significance. These conditions can be measured and compared with the situations which can be accepted as a model, and that is also called social survey. That is also called social research. Okay. Now we have to study the next point, which is very important, which is oftenly asked in exam, and that is also very important for your understanding purpose. Without considering all these points, you never understand the survey research method. Okay, and that is a social survey research. Different types of the steps you have to complete in social survey. Okay, and what are those steps? Those steps also I have given here in this slide. A first step is there. What is it? Formulation of research problem. What is the first step? Formulation of a research problem. It means that this is the first step. What is it? This is the first step. Formulation of research problem and a statement of problem. First of all, you have to formulate research problem. You have to decide on which problem we have to work. It means that such type of a research problem you have to formulate, and also you have to formulate the statement of problem. Okay, research problem is different and statement of problem is different, don't forget it all. That's why first step you have to complete, what is it? Formulation of research problem and statement of problem. Then second stage also you have to complete, second step you have to complete, setting up the objectives of research. This is common steps. These are the common steps you have to consider here. You have to study. What is the second step in survey method? You have to set up the objectives of research. It means that why you are conducting such type of activity, why you like to conduct such type of a survey. It means that what are the objectives of research. Those objectives you should have to set. And that is the second stage of the social survey research. Okay, very simple things are there, very simple steps are there, and those steps also you have to study in detail. Okay, then third step is also there, review of literature. You have to take review about the literature. It means that somebody is going to make research on particular topic, whether that research is related with your topic or not, and if it is there, what type of research is conducted. Okay, what are the objectives, what are the findings, what are the conclusions, what are the suggestions, all such things you have to consider in the review of literature. And this review of literature is also useful for our research, because some gap we can identify. We can identify the gap of the research with the help of review. Okay, with the help of review of literature. That's why this is the third step of review of literature of the survey research. Okay, then next step is also we have to study, what is it? Formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis should be there. Okay, you have already studied what is the exact meaning of hypothesis, what do you mean by hypothesis, what are the types of hypothesis, and how hypothesis can be tested. Okay, all such things you are knowing about it. Okay, that's why fourth step in the social survey research is that formulation of hypothesis. You have to formulate hypothesis. Okay, then next step is preparation of research design. Very simple and important thing is that you have to prepare a research design. What is the exact meaning of research design? Research design, my friend, try to understand. Research design is nothing but a plan of research work. How you are going to collect the data, what type of sources you are going to use for collection of the data, and which period you are going to collect the data. Okay, what is the geographical limitation, what is the time limitation, what is the all such type of things you have to prepare first, and that is like as a blueprint of our house also. Okay, it means that such type of a research design also you have to prepare. Research design, friends, research design means nothing but a blueprint of your research work. Don't forget what I'm speaking. Research design is nothing but a blueprint of your research work. With the help of that blueprint you can complete your research. Okay, for that purpose, fifth step of the social survey research, that is preparation of research design. And in that design also you can decide the sample, you can decide the sample survey, you can decide the sample size, you can decide the percentage of sample, everything you can decide in such type of research design. That's why preparation of research design, this is the next stage in the social survey research. Then another stage is also there, determining sample design. Already I told you, okay, how much a sample you can select from the total population. It means that what is the standard percentage? Standard percentage is only 10% you can select the sample, but it depends upon the size of the population. Okay, that's why determining the sample size, this is the next stage. Then data collection. How you can collect the data? Which method you can use for collection of the data? There are different types of the methods, and from those methods you can select you can decide the convenient methods of the data collection. Okay. Then after collection of the data, you have to analyze and interpret the data whatever may be collected by you. Okay, it means that collected data you should have to analyze and you should have to interpret that data. That's why analysis and interpretation of the data, that is also important task and important step in the social survey research. Then testing of hypothesis. Whatever may be hypothesis you have decided, those hypotheses should be tested with the help of mathematical and statistical tools and techniques. Statistical tools and tests also. You can test the hypothesis. And this is also the second last stage. And the another stage is also generalization and interpretation of the data. After testing the hypothesis, you should have to generalize the data and you should have to interpret the data. And the last stage, very important stage, what is it? Report writing. It means that whatever may be research findings are there, whatever may be conclusions are there, whatever may be data you have collected, that data you should have to present in your report. That's why you should have to write the report in systematic manner. This is the last stage in social survey research. In this way, these are the 11 steps in the social survey research. With the help of these steps, you can complete your social survey research. Okay. Now, what are the types of social survey? What are the types of survey? Those types also we have to understand. There are some important types I have mentioned here in this slide. First type is there, general or specific surveys. What is it? General or specific survey. In the general survey, the entire community is studied in a general way. In that name also general word is there. That's why you have to conduct the study, you have to make the survey of the entire community. Okay. It is conducted for collecting general information of any population or phenomena without any hypothesis. For example, the economic survey of India, the survey of Indian banking system, the survey of management research in India, such type of surveys can be conducted in this talk. Okay. A specific survey on the other hand is also conducted. Above said types are of the general survey, and now specific survey on the other hand is conducted to study some specific aspects of the community, such as hygienic attitudes, child welfare, unemployment, etc. Such surveys are conducted to study specific problems or to study or to test the validity of some theory or hypothesis. It means that this is the first type of survey. What is it? General or specific survey. Then second type I have mentioned here, census or sample surveys. In case of census survey, each and every unit of population is investigated. Don't forget it all. In case of census survey, each and every unit of the population is investigated and information is collected from each and every unit. Naturally, the time, money and efforts involved in the census survey are bound to be large, but the result produced are accurate. It means that although the cost of the survey is more, higher, but you will get accurate result from such type of a survey. Okay. On the other hand, in sample surveys, in a sample survey, inferences about the population are drawn on the investigation of some units representing the entire population. The objectives of sample survey, the objective of the sample survey is to obtain maximum information about the characteristics of the population within minimum cost, minimum time and minimum efforts. But the result of sample survey, my friends, try to understand, the result of sample survey are valid only if the sample selected is a true representative and population is homogeneous. If the units of the population or universe are heterogeneous, sample survey is not possible. Try to understand. That's why your population should be homogeneous. Okay? And then you can conduct such type of a survey. Then third type of survey is also there. What is it? Regular or ad hoc survey. Regular or ad hoc survey. A survey repeated at regular interval. Try to understand, boys and girls. A survey repeated at regular intervals to obtain continuous information about a subject is called regular survey. It helps to study the trends in the phenomena under the study. The permanent machinery for collecting the information for regular surveys is set up. Ad hoc surveys are non-repetitive surveys. Try to understand, ad hoc surveys are the non-repetitive surveys conducted occasionally as per the demand of the situation. They are conducted for testing the hypothesis. Are you listening my speech? They are conducted for testing the hypothesis or to achieve a specific objectives. For example, a census survey conducted by Government of India after every 10 years is a regular survey, whereas a survey of socio-economic conditions of scheduled tribes in northeast states of the India conducted by researcher for academic purpose. For what purpose? Academic purpose. And it is a spatial or ad hoc survey. Try to understand. This is the third type of survey. The next type of survey is also mentioned here, preliminary or final survey. Preliminary survey refers to the pilot study. Preliminary survey refers to the pilot study conducted to obtain the first-hand knowledge about the universe. The first-hand knowledge about the universe and phenomenon under study. It helps a researcher in preparing schedule or questionnaire and organizing the final surveys on the proper lines. Final surveys, on the other hand, are full-fledged surveys conducted on the basis of experience gained from the pilot surveys or preliminary survey. It means that such type of a survey is also conducted, and that is entitled as preliminary or final survey. Then next type of survey is also here mentioned, that is other types of surveys. There are different types of the surveys. Those types also I have mentioned here. First type, public or confidential survey. This survey is conducted on the basis of secrecy of service. On the basis of secrecy of survey. Okay. Then second type is also there, postal or personal survey. In that name also you can understand what type of survey is there. On the basis of mode of collection, this type is also there. These types are on the basis of mode of collection on the information. Okay. Then third type is also there, C, primary or secondary survey. On the basis of nature of data collection, these types are there. If you are going to conduct primary survey, if you are going to collect the primary information, that survey is called primary survey. If you are going to collect the printed information, online information from the books, magazines, journals, web pages, okay, at that time that survey is called secondary survey, because someone has collected that information already for some purpose. That's why that information you are going to use for your study purpose, your research purpose. That's why such type of a secondary information you are going to collect through the survey, that is called secondary survey. Are you getting my point? Then next point is also there, next type is also there, official survey, semi-official survey and private surveys. Okay, these are also the types on the basis of authority conducting the survey. And the last type also I have mentioned here for our knowledge, for our study purpose, that is a widespread or limited survey. and this survey is conducted on the basis of aspects or areas covered. Okay, in this way these are the different types of the survey. Okay, how many types are there? There are 5 types. What are those 5 types? First, general or specific survey. Second, census or sample survey. Third, regular or ad hoc survey. Next, preliminary or final survey. And the last, other types of survey. And in that other types also, 5 types are included. First, public or confidential survey. Second, postal or personal survey. Third, primary or secondary survey. Fourth, official, semi-official or private survey. And the last, widespread or limited survey. In this way, these are the types of survey. Okay, try to understand, because oftenly question is asked in exam. At that time, you should have to write the answer of that question in detail in your own word. Okay, for that purpose, you should have to understand each and every aspect, each and every concept in detail. Okay, now we have to study the distinction between survey and case study method. Is there any distinction? Is there any difference? Your answer will be definitely yes. There is a distinction between survey and case study method. What is the distinction? It means that with the help of these above 8 points, you can mention the difference between survey method and case study method. First difference we can understand, that is in case of survey method, population is known. It means that there is a known population in survey method. But in case of case study method, population is unknown. Okay, this is the first difference. Then second difference is also there. Sample is drawn from known population in survey method. In survey method or under survey method, sample is drawn from known population. But in case study method, individual unit is selected from unknown population. This is the second difference between survey and case study method. Then third difference we have to study here, characteristics of sample are described in survey method. In survey method, characteristics of sample are described. And what happened in case study method? In case study method, characteristics of case are described, not a sample. Case are described. Okay. Then next distinction, next difference we can understand. Under survey method, inferences about population, characteristics are based on characteristics of sample drawn from population. But in case of case study method, inferences are made based on case study about similar cases in the society. This is also the difference. Then next difference is there in case study method. Case study method permits quantitative analysis. Case study method do not permit. Case study method do not permit quantitative analysis. Case study method only permits qualitative analysis. And in survey method, it permits quantitative analysis. Don't make confusion. Under survey method or survey method permits quantitative analysis, and case study method permits only qualitative analysis. This is the difference. Then another difference is also there. Survey method is exploratory, descriptive or explanatory study. What type of study is there? Survey method is exploratory, descriptive or explanatory study. But case study method is only an exploratory study. What type of study? Only and only an exploratory study. This is the difference. Then next difference between survey and case study method we can explain here. Survey method may begin or end with hypothesis. Survey method may begin or end with hypothesis, but case study method ends with hypothesis. This is the difference. And the last difference we have to study here. survey method is extensive study of population. What is it? Extensive study of population. But case study method is intensive study of the case. Don't forget it all. In this way, with the help of these 8 points, we can explain the distinction between survey and case study method. Now, another point we have to discuss here, what are the advantages of survey method? Different types of the advantages also we can get from this survey method. First advantage is there, inferences based on fact. This is the first advantage. In this method, the researcher draws inferences on the basis of first-hand information obtained through respondents. Hence, the results are accurate. Such inferences are not based upon theory or principles but upon actual facts of life. That's why this is the first advantage, first benefit of the survey method you can get. Then second benefit or second advantage also we can get of the survey method, that is a greater objectivity. The data of survey method is obtained through a large number of trained field workers who contact the respondents and gather the information accurately. Okay, hence the data is not influenced by the researcher's personal bias and beliefs. That's why that is great objective. Then third advantage is also there, testing the validity of theories. Survey method is of immense use for testing the validity of theories. Often a survey leads to the results established through theoretical interpretation. It means that testing and validity of theories is also possible under survey method. And this is also the benefit, or this is also the advantage of the survey method. Then next advantage also we have to understand, personal contacts with respondents. Face-to-face contact is possible. Direct communication is also possible. It means that survey method enables the researcher to establish direct contacts with the respondents and know the ground realities about phenomenon under investigation. And ground reality is also important, and that ground reality should be recorded in research, and it can be possible in survey method because personal contact is possible and real information collection is also possible. Then another advantage is also there, formulation and testing of hypothesis. Survey method plays a crucial role in formulation of the hypothesis on the basis of results of the survey. They brings to light a number of problems at a grassroots level that would have never come out through pure theoretical analysis, and thus it leads to formulation and advancement of theories. At a more advanced stage of the survey research also helps in putting the hypothesis to test. It means that formulation and testing of the hypothesis is also possible with the help of this survey method. And the last advantage we have to study here, that is survey method is nothing but an instrument of social development. In social sciences, where experimental method of research cannot be applied, survey method is most scientific method of research, providing an insight into the problem faced by the society. Social surveys, my friends, social surveys play a significant role in national policy making and social and economic reform. Number of theories have been evolved. Try to understand. Number of theories have been evolved, problems have been solved and developed through the survey research of the different social units. In this way, these are the half dozen advantages. How many advantages are there of the survey method? Half dozen advantages you'll find. First, what is it? Inferences based on fact. Next, greater objectivity. Next, testing the validity of the theories. Next, personal contacts with respondents. Next, formulation and testing of hypotheses. And the last advantage of the survey method is that instrument of social development. It means that with the help of survey method, we can contribute in the development of the society. Okay, that's why these are the advantages of survey method. Another side of the coin we have to study, although we are getting the advantage, but we have to face some limitations, and those limitations also we have to study. What are those limitations? Those limitations also I have mentioned here. Those limitations are half dozen limitations. First limitation is there, that is uneconomical method. Survey method is uneconomical method. Why it is said? Often survey method achieves only limited objectives and comes out with the ordinary findings after consuming huge cost, efforts and time. In conducting surveys, large number of field works are employed for the proper training. Huge expenses are involved in the traveling and data collection, but finally nothing special comes out such type of a huge efforts. That's why this method is unaffordable. This method is costly method. This method is uneconomical method, and this is the first limitation of the survey method. Then second limitation we have to understand, what is it? Personal bias. In survey research, the personal bias of researcher or the field worker collecting the data may distort the findings and gives wrong conclusion, because personal bias affects the data, personal bias affects the findings, personal bias affects the conclusion. That's why such type of conclusion may be wrong, and this type of limitation is also we have to understand. Then another limitation we have to study here, that is error in sampling. What is it? Errors in sampling. Majority of surveys are sample surveys. If there are errors in sample design, the differences or inferences, findings, conclusions drawn are inaccurate and misleading. Maintaining accuracy in sampling is a great task. That's why this is also another limitation. What is it? Errors in sampling. Then next limitation we have to study, that is difficulty in verification. This survey method has also mechanism to verify the accuracy of the data collected, which form the basis of research. The reliability of data collected depends on the unbiased attitude of the enumerator and respondents. It means that it is also very difficult to verify whether collected data is right or wrong, and this is also the limitation. Then next limitation we have to understand, unsuitability. What is it? Unsuitability. Survey method is useful in analyzing only the correct problem, only the current problem. The problems in the past cannot be studied by using this method. Okay, and this is also limitation. And the last limitation we have to discuss here, inflexibility. It means that rigidity. It is most flexible method other than survey, and survey method is inflexible method, as it does not permit the change in research design or in sample design or in course of research. It means that such type of inflexibility is also limitation of the survey method. In this way, half dozen advantages also you can get, and half dozen limitations are also you have to face. What are those? First limitation is uneconomical method. Second is personal bias. Third is errors in sampling. Fourth is difficulty in verification. Fifth is unsuitability. And the last is inflexibility. These are the limitations of the survey method. And other remaining methods are also mentioned here. Those are the two methods. First, historical method. What is it? Historical method. This method investigates the past events and phenomenon on the basis of historical documents and evidences. It seeks to find explanation of questions of current interest and intensive study of the past. This method is called historical method. And the last method of this presentation, we have to study experimental method. In this method, the researcher studies the effect of independent variables on the dependent variable. It means that researcher has to study the effect of independent variable on dependent variable by artificially controlling the effect of the rest of the variables. It is conducted in fundamental sciences. Such type of experimental research is conducted in fundamental sciences like physics, chemistry, biology, nuclear science, etc. through laboratory experiments. It means that in that name also you have to understand experimental research. Experimental method means in which method different experiments are done in laboratory. That's why that is laboratory research also. In this way, these are the remaining other methods of the research. Okay, and with the help of these two methods also, we have completed this topic completely and successfully. Thank you very much.